Good afternoon, guys. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. We're having a bit of a late start today. I've been running all around. I've been just busy today. So I got the drive shaft. Just got back from picking that up, so that's a plus. I just grabbed some pumpkin cream cold brew. Hear an exhaust. Who is this? That was like either a blue clapped EG hatch or that was a Geo Metro without a muffler. Either way, he looked right at me because he must know who I am, or he must see my cars if he doesn't know who I am but he lives around here. Weird. I don't know. Well, I mean, whatever. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I got the drive shaft back, assuming that the length, I don't know where I just set my coffee. See, this is the kind of mindset I'm going through today. Just freaking, okay, it's right here. So yeah, assuming my calculate, sounds like he's coming back. Whatever, but assuming my measurements were right, then the 4 1/8 inch should be able to get this thing to bolt up. I'm gonna try it out really fast, and if it works, then all we have to do is add a hanger carrier thing for the middle. Should be relatively simple. Haven't figured out a design quite yet, but it shouldn't be too hard. Last video we did the intercooler stuff. That's all good. Just have to modify the wastegate actuator, hang this, and build the exhaust, and this thing can go home. So I'm gonna get on my back and I'm gonna hang this thing up really quick and hope for the best. I'm sorry for the wacky air. It won't freaking stay down, got like a cow lick. I'm stressed. Well, it fits. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys get the point. I'm gonna go ahead and finish tightening it down, and then again all I have to do is find a way to mount the middle of it. So I will come up with something, and I'll just show you guys after that. We may have a special guest popping in this video though. We will see if he actually rolls through. Either way, stay tuned for the next clip. Alright, so got the piece finished up. Looks pretty good. I really wish I could like draw stuff and put it on a laser and stuff. But yeah, this will work for now. We got it gusseted on each side, give it some rigidity. So basically, chassis is already cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to tack this into place now. The welder is on. And then I'm gonna try and hang the drive shaft back up, see if I can bolt this to the drive shaft. And if the drive shaft looks okay, the holes and everything line up like they did on the test fit, then I'm gonna go ahead and drop the drive shaft yet again, and then I will go through and weld the whole thing around. Thing is ready to be welded on. My hair is still sticking up, but special guest has arrived. So we got Mr. Chris.
Yo!
Some of you OGs may remember him.
Long time no see, homies.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've been on the channel. I mean, the first time I went to Colorado was actually for his event, the slush meet at Pikes Peak Raceway that he was able to host. But yeah, other than that, it's probably been like a year and a half or so since he was last down here.
That much. Close to 2 years, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, because he had, for you older watchers, he had the MR2 and he had the Prelude. And the Accord Wagon. So he still has the Accord Wagon. He has a TSX wagon now, and he boosted the Prelude. So if you want to go check out all that stuff, he does have a YouTube channel, which is down there yonder.
For sure.
He's got a much nicer camera than me.
Spooky camera, you know. We try and do what we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can go check out my YouTube channel. It's at Chris Whips. Pretty simple, pretty easy to remember. But if you guys want to see some turbo Honda stuff, some cool 4K videos, definitely go check me out.
Yeah. And he's good buddies with Brent down at PFI and all those cats, because he's a Colorado local as well. as of nowadays. He left us down here, but yeah, so he's gonna do his thing. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna try and not burn myself. I left my welding jacket down at the shop, so no bueno. We'll see how this turns out though. Alright, drive shaft totally hung up. So everything's only hand tight. I snugged the end ones up with the little 10mm wrench, but that's going to be that. So next up would just be modifying the wastegate actuator, which is going to be a little tricky, and then finishing the exhaust. And I'm still up in arms about the exhaust because I really am just unsure how I'm going to fit this portion here. The 2-inch won't be a problem. It's just this guy's freaking big. So, I don't know, run out of daylight real quick though, so might have to call it a freaking day, at least for working on this thing, and I'm still getting chewed up by mosquitoes. I got freaking ankles exposed, so no bueno. Come out the next day, I was just mocking up this downpipe situation with trying to fit the Y pipe behind the motor. Definitely not gonna happen. It's just, it's too big. The straight section is the right length, like it's almost inch for inch, but it's just the Y section then just goes right into the subframe, or it goes right into the back of the block. Like there's no actual place to put it. So can't do that, so it has to be under the car. So the guy did say to just dent the floor, make clearance. So that's what I'm gonna do. I already got it marked up. I'm just gonna use my trusty 3-pound hammer here. And yeah, anyways guys, happy Thanksgiving. Today is Thanksgiving. I don't really do much, so hopefully you guys are having a good day with your family and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and smack this up, and we'll see if we can get this to fit just even a little bit better. This is harder than it looks. It just bounces back. After a little bit more persuasion, this is about as much as I can get. I might be able to get just like a millimeter more or so on the top here, but this is as high as I can tuck this 3-inch up, especially with the drive shaft right here. So I'm gonna have to smack around a little bit more over here, just a clearance, just a touch more, but this is probably what we're gonna be looking like. Obviously the V-band clamp is gonna be very close to the drive shaft, so I'm gonna try and flex the pipe over just a little bit. But I mean, this is a price to pay for trying to fit all this under here. But I said I was gonna make it work, so by golly, I'm gonna make it work. Been steady knocking out this exhaust system, so let me kind of show you where we're at here. I'm getting close to getting to the muffler. So I got the muffler sitting on my transmission jack here, so it's, I don't know, this is about all I can think of for the hanger. So basically, I got this inline muffler over here, like a resonator. I got the cap before that, and then straight pipe up to the flange up there. Everything is all tacked in place. So really where I'm at now is I just got to get a pipe to go from here, cross under here, because this is the all-wheel drive rear saddle. So it does have this cutout for the pipe to come here. So we're gonna dip it down through here and then just curve it right over here. So he did give me a couple pieces that are like pre-bent, so I'm gonna try and work with that. But yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. And then just for extra like OEM sleeper, whatever you would call it, using the little tip there, shoots out right here. It's just being clamped on, so not even gonna worry about that, just so it can look extra stealth. Granted, I don't know how stealth this is gonna look, because I'm pretty sure that valve down there is gonna hang out kind of low, so if anybody actually takes the time to look under the car, they're probably gonna see a wastegate cut out down there. So I don't know. Buddy said he just wants the factory style clamp on the end there, so that's where we're gonna leave. Yeah, I'm gonna just play with this a little bit more, and we'll catch you guys when it's done. I feel like I filmed a lot of the welding stuff, and some of it just really isn't that interesting like this. This is a lot of just trial and error of me just, does this fit? No. Does this fit? No. Does this fit? No. Okay, this fits type stuff. So it takes extra long to film, and I know a lot of you guys don't find any interest in it. It just gets monotonous, I guess, repetitive, I don't know. Yeah, so we'll see in a few minutes. Well, for you, next frame. Thanks for sticking around with me as you've made it this far so far. So I got the exhaust built up to this point now. So I do apologize for the lack of light. It is obviously nighttime. I'm out here wearing my headlamp. This thing's lighting up the video pretty good. So yeah, we're down to the muffler section here, and this is more or less the last of it. So it is going to hang not super low, but it's not going to be tucked up super high. Obviously the muffler is already almost touching the trunk belly, and then because of where this comes through over here, it's kind of like level-ish, but it's all tacked together. Only thing I have left to do is just drop it and hang it, and then I already got a hanger location. I'm going to mount it up with the diff bracket that I made up there, the bar going across the top. So that's already bolted in place. I just got to actually weld it to it once I put this all back up. But yeah, so all that's left is tailpipe section, which like I said, that one's getting clamped on. So hopefully this all fits. Obviously I'll find out for sure after I weld it, see what shrinks a little bit. And then when the hanger gets put on, we'll drop the jacks and the stands and see where it all sits. It's very tight fit for sure, like up here. Yeah, you get the idea. Pretty snug fit, but it fits nonetheless. I was able to fit everything under here, both the high flow cat, both the resonator, muffler, and cutout. So even though it may not be the utmost prettiest thing because of the lack of space, it all fits nonetheless, and I really don't think it looks all that bad. So with that, I will catch up with you guys yet again the next day. And again, I apologize for not doing much actual labor on this. I'm just trying to get this thing done, you know. We're out here in the morning now, a little breezy, a little chilly, but that's all right. I got my merch. This is the long sleeve that I made last year, so if you guys want one of these, go hit up the Big Cartel. I think they're like 40 bucks. This one's held up pretty well for a year. Yeah, but anyway, so exhaust is obviously out. I just finished tacking it on the top so that way it pulls and moves as little as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and just weld it. I'm just making it because this is all my own steel, no need to TIG it. Yeah, get this knocked out, hang it back up, add some hangers, and we got the hanger here, and then I have another one that I'm adding right around here. I forget exactly, and then I think it should be sturdy enough to not really need it up here, but if I can, I would like to try and add one up here somewhere. Sick. Well, the exhaust is all, well, I'm about to put it back up. I took that off to weld that joint really quick. So I've been out here for a couple hours because well, probably like 2 hours now, but I got the exhaust welded up like you've seen, and then I hung it up, and for whatever reason, either I didn't notice it before or something pulled pretty good, but this side was like hanging way down and it was uneven. So now I just fixed it, redid this last like axle back to muffler section, so hopefully it's all good now. I'm gonna let that cool off before I touch it. Or try and put it up, and hopefully that is good. If that is good, then re-add the hanger that I had to cut off, and then the exhaust is good, and then it's just the actuator. Literally. So exhaust is finally freaking done. So the tip is sitting a little offset right now because it's like clamped in there a little funny, but he can always adjust that later. It is pea shooter just like he wanted, had to add another hanger, but it is pretty darn solid. So the heat shield on the top there, I don't like that, so that might rattle when it's actually idling. But coilover's back in. I'm gonna just tighten the axle on this down really quick, throw the wheels back on, and I gotta add diff fluid and trans fluid yet. So yeah, okay, I can't put it on the ground yet, but I'm gonna get the wheels on. Alright, so after making a complete mess all over the floor, I'll power wash that out later. Tranny is filled, diff is filled, exhaust is, like I said, done. So all that's left is get this thing on the floor. Axles are tight, wheels are tight. Actuator is the last thing. So I will come back to this tomorrow. I'm already over the car for the day, so, and I got other stuff going on. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. We will end this video out then once we finish this crap, if I can finish that. Haven't looked into how I'm gonna do that yet, but we're so close. Just the last little bit. Should be the final day here working on the wagon. Just got out here a minute ago. I'm working on trying to figure out how to extend this wastegate actuator assembly. So here's the pin that actually goes on the actuator. That has to go there, and it has to come out towards this way. So this thing, I basically need to try and mount it like way back here. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna cut this out. I just traced out the circle of that so I know where to cut. I'm gonna freaking cut here so I have the mounting tab, and I'm gonna mount the bracket and then make my own little flat piece like add on to here with some sheet metal, and then I'm just gonna run a little rod over to where I can mount the you know, the thing, and then just run like a super long thin rod and just weld it all together, and then that way it should work just like normal and hopefully be strong enough. I mean, it's only 7 psi, so it doesn't take a lot of effort at all, and that should work. If you guys remember my Del Sol turbo setup and my Miata turbo setup, I modified both those actuators in a similar fashion. Not extended as long, but they both held up just fine, so I'm not really concerned about it. So let's get to doing it. Come on, vamonos. I think I got this actuator sorted out, so I didn't even have to end up making a bracket. I just bolted it to the cylinder head right there. See, I just obviously had to trim this piece off here, drilled a hole, it bolted up there, added this rod to then extend it, and now it is sitting happily right there. Focus. Maybe focus. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, rod is sitting happily there. I gotta go to Harbor Freight, pick up a little box of E-clips because I don't have one this size. My old turbo used a much larger one, but yeah, get an E-clip, hold that rod on there, hook up the air compressor really quick, and then see if this thing is gonna hold or like operate. I had to shave down a little bit here because for whatever reason it wanted to hit its own actuator arm, which I don't understand that. It is the Garrett one, so it is what it is. And then all that's left is I'm gonna have to drop the downpipe again and do that, and then just hang up this little bracket here, somewhere right around here, so that way I can put the reservoir that is over there back into there. I would say that works. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna go run to Harbor Freight and I'll be back. Status update, got the reservoir mounted up, so all I did was I added a little tab onto my bracket that I had already made to hold the intercooler, and I just used a Rivnut to hold its little mount bridge. And now it fits basically right where he needed to, because this area here is gonna be for his pump for the cooler here. So yeah, that works perfect. Now let's get this downpipe back off again and get that bung welded on for the O2 sensor. And yeah, that wraps us up from there. So with everything done, this thing is ready to go home. I am incredibly stoked, and I had a really good time, and it was fun. I learned a lot with this car. I learned more about the all-wheel drive components, especially with the Wagon, CRV stuff. You know, I learned more about fabrication. I mean, in general, like I got a little bit more creative. I had a little bit more creative freedom than I normally do. Space, definitely limited, but because of that, I was able to make it work, and I was able to make literally the owner's vision become a reality. I basically built it to how he wanted it on his drawing / in his mind. So he's incredibly stoked, I'm incredibly stoked, and I'm just super thankful that you guys that watch my videos feel comfortable bringing me stuff like that. Obviously I've had this car here before, but the fact that people can trust somebody like me, that they just watch some of his videos on the internet and then feel compelled to bring their work to him, it's very awesome. And I just thank you guys very much for the opportunities that you have given me through not only drop-off work but the YouTube stuff. It starting to show the fruits of my labors, and things are starting to finally look up, so I'm incredibly thankful. So thank you guys very much. I am going to end this video off here though. I don't want to drag it on too long. We got it to the point. Car's done. Ben's picking up tomorrow. So if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've considered subscribing by now, sticking around for a while. And if I just want to thanks for taking the time to hang out with me here on the channel for the day. Stumbling over my words here. Got a lot going on. But yeah, merch in the Big Cartel, Patreon link in the description, Amazon affiliate links. All of those help just tremendously. So please feel free to use those and get some stuff. Support your boy. You guys do what you love. Think about the rest, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.